All right, so today we're going to be looking at my band's new song called Take Me Back. It should be out on Spotify by the time this video is out. And so we're going to kind of just dissect the session and how I mixed it and how my bandmates helped me mix it and kind of the decisions we did to make it such a cool and unique song, in my opinion. So I guess I'll just play a little bit of it here for you guys to hear first.
Lately I've been crying, you've been on my mind. I don't know how to say this, I am taking a big risk, 'cause I just want to hold you, never want to scold you. Please love me forever, don't say you will never. Take me back, ah, take me back, take me back, ah, take me back.
Cool. All right, yeah. So that's the first verse, the intro, the first verse, and the chorus there. So as you can tell, it's kind of like a doo-wop 50s progression towards the beginning, and then oh yeah, that's my computer freaking out right now. If you hear anything in the back, it's kind of like a 50s doo-wop, and then it turns into like a psychedelic, funky second part slash chorus, whatever you want to call it there. So I guess we'll just start with the drums. So what I did with the drums, we have a kick mic, a snare, top and bottom, and we just recorded this in the basement. Then we have rack and floor, overheads, and then a room, which, as you can see, I did not use very much room, or overheads by that matter. Okay, so we can listen to these here first. So on the drum bus, I just have a gain module, and so that way, if need be, I would not have to automate the volume, but just the gain. So I just automated the gain to come in right there, just so that first fill is louder. All right, so now we have the kick. I just used a 52A on the kick and just kind of stuck it in the kick so we could get more of that better sounds than the actual, frequency. And so for the snare, I had the top and bottom. I had a 57 on the top snare, and then I had a 58 on the bottom snare, actually. So we'll listen to that. So you can hear it's pretty heavy reverb. I have a bus here of snare reverb. I just used Space Designer, used a small hall medium sweep, excuse me, and then I just EQ the reverb there just so it doesn't get very muddy. So yeah, and then I have some small EQs on the snare top here, kind of get rid of that bed frequency, bring out the top. The snare bottom, I have a similar thing, kind of boost, resonant boost right there, and then have a saturator, free saturator plugin that I used on that. Okay, so we'll move on to the rack and floor tom. I didn't do much to these. I put a gate on them so you won't hear it there, but then I'll go, somewhere here. And so I kind of wanted them to sound like a natural gate, so I did that, automated them, and this is all the automations I have. It took me a while to kind of nitpick and get these all perfect. So the overheads, again, I didn't put that much on the overheads, except there's something interesting. I put a so this reverb, and again, we did not record this in a treated room whatsoever. so it's gonna sound untreated. So I kind of back that down with the room. If you can even hear the room, I compressed, put some parallel compression on there, to kind of make it big or add anything, even if it doesn't. I don't think it really adds anything, but it's besides the point. So for the overheads, I put this ring modulation on the chorus. So if you hear, it's going to kind of swirl around your head here, right when the chorus hits, the cymbals especially. So it kind of adds that psychedelic feel. Kevin Parker does that. Few, psychedelic artists do that a lot. Okay, so for the guitar here, we have a few tracks. All of these were amps except this. We DI'd, it was a DI tone. So I have a preset amp pedal board just with the auto funk feature here. And the echo we have there. And then I always automate with gain. And then this is the chorus reverb. So you can kind of hear the sustain on that reverb. And then I have a compressor, a parallel compressor there. And then I have just a couple reverbs on it. So now for the low guitar here, we have some harmonies here. So if you hear kind of that clicking noise, that's the tremolo effect on our Guitar Slants amp. So we have that there. You can hear the low on the left and the high. So they kind of work in unison there. And then we just have a rhythm. We just put some chorus on that. Recorded it through, I believe, the JC40 that we have, but it might be through the two-band Planets 2-band. My computer is not liking this. Anyways, we have another rhythm track here. I believe it's the same thing. Yep. So we have some stabs there. And then at the end, it kind of goes to a higher rhythm. All right. So next, we did Zach's keys. And so Zach has a Yamaha keyboard, if I'm not wrong. I could be wrong about that. So with that, we just found a good noise on his, a good preset on his keyboard, and just recorded the audio straight in here on a stereo track. And I didn't have to do much to these keys, really, at all. Nothing on the bus end. EQ, compressor, let the dynamics flow, did not compress it heavy, as you can see there. It is not compressing very heavily, maybe 5 or 6 max. And then we have the Mellotron here, which is actually something Zach made the demo for. And Zach wrote most of this song, the keys player. He had the demo, I want to say a year and a half ago at least, if not before. And so for the Mellotron part, we found a good strings and flute type of Mellotron. Slapped a reverb on that. Put some chorus on it. So without it, it just kind of gives it depth. And surrounds, put some fresh air on it, kind of gave it a really big high boost. So really gives it a shine. I would not normally do such a drastic decision on keys like that, but I was struggling with the tone, and I said, okay, well, I'm going to try this, see if it sounds good, and it sounded good, and it works. So that just adds another texture to the song. So next we're going to look at bass. I recorded the bass. So if I'm not wrong, yeah, I recorded this through my Ampeg bass, through the DI input, straight into my interface, just at home. And then I used a preset called 70s bass on Logic, and I really like that preset. It works really well, so I'll let you hear it. And I just recorded I palm muted just with my hand and recorded with my thumb and my first finger. And I just took out some bad frequencies here. I didn't really add any frequencies, if I'm being honest. I mean, you'll see the bass amp setting I guess I used, the DI bass amp, but also I used my actual amp DIing from that. So yeah, you can hear the bass pretty well in the mix, and that might be because I mixed it and I like bass, but who knows. All right, now we're getting to the meat of why everyone is watching, I'm sure, for Joey's vocals. So we double tracked these for the verse here. Here, let's unsolo these and just have these soloed.
Lately I've been crying.
And as you can see, I just panned them both each way.
Lately
And I
I've been
spliced them up here,
crying.
so there's nothing in between. There was a lot of fricatives in his vocals, kind of like the mouth, smacking sound, which really made me cringe. And so I, instead of buying an expensive plugin to take those out, I just took them out manually. And as you see,
Lately I've been crying. You've been on my mind.
so I automated his vocals with
I
gain.
don't know how to say this.
Alright, so let's go over some of the effects here. So I have an EQ, a pretty big low cut, and then around that like 1K to 2K, 800 to 2K, 3K, I boosted his vocals. Took out everything around 20K to 15, 20K to 15K, sorry. So we don't get that. And then I took out this because he was kind of, it was a harsh S, sound. And then I used a Universal Audio LA2A. I love these on vocals. They really glue them together so I can play with.
I'm taking a big risk.
It sounds good,
'Cause I
but it
just
gives it a
want to
presence
hold
and
you.
an intimate feeling that I enjoy.
Never want to scold you.
So we did some harmonies here.
Please love me
So we did
forever.
3, low harmony, high harmony.
Don't say you will never take me back. Ah, take me back.
So yeah, we have those take me back harmonies there. I'll solo them.
Take me back.
So I'll go through each one. First low harmony.
Take me back. Ah, take me back.
Then we have that high harmony here.
Take me back.
Really high right there.
Ah, take me back. Ah, take me back.
So you'll hear all of them together right here.
Take me back. Ah,
So yeah,
take me.
that's good for that one. Man, my computer does not like what I'm doing right now. It is bugging me. Okay, so then we got the slide harmonies here, which is kind of a thing we made up, or I should say Joey made up as we were recording. So I just coded these with reverb, this chorus, or this verse reverb, I guess, that I showed you earlier, and then I put a compressor on all these. So they're pretty, not insanely heavily compressed, but we have... So I have an EQ on all of these, and then I'll play the high harmony. Should be on your right here. And then we just have those for the second verse there as well. Alright, so next we get to the chorus. I'll play these. So I'm going to play the second one. I'm going to go over the second chorus because we have 2 extra tracks here that I recorded. So we're going to go just one by one. So we have, again, LA2A, low cut, small high cut on the chorus bus. So the first one, I put a tape delay. It sounds like an 8th note. Yeah, it's an 8th note. Feedback is pretty high and it's all the way wet. And so on 14, yeah, put that reverb sound. Yeah, so you can hear that like high cut that I put on his vocals. This one, I think, was the one that was tuned down. Yeah, so we have an extra one. Where is it? Oh, I guess. Oh, yeah, pitch shifter right here. So I have this down 12 semitones, mix at 100%. And then I think this, I have a reverse reverb. Yep, I have the reverse reverb on it. So it'll hit reverse. So I literally took this track, brought it down to that one, and it worked out well. Okay, so we have this one next. Yeah, so that's pretty standard. Ooh, okay, yeah. Now that's dissonant right there. So So with these two, so it's already building like that atmosphere that I enjoy. Yeah, that's real dissonant there, which is kind of hard to hear. And then we have this last harmony, which is just a humming. And I put a bunch of effects, reverse reverb, a ring shifter, kind of ring around your head. Just create an atmosphere. And then while we were recording this, I had the idea to do something like this. So it just adds that like presence. And it kind of separates the first chorus from the second chorus there. Yeah. All right. So now we can move on to the outro. And this one, you see I spliced up. This one I had trouble with. So you put that first reverb on it. You put a small delay on it as well. And then the 16th note delay. So if you hear it, it gives it like an atmosphere. I can guess the feedbacks. Yeah, the feedbacks are there. So without it, it's good. But it keeps that like psychedelic feel that we were going for. Use the LA2A, put fresh air on it. Not as harsh as my last use of fresh air, but there we go. I faded it out here. I also faded the stereo out here so you can hear the fade out. I also want to mention I used zero, other than my own vocals, I used zero pitch correction on Joey's vocals because he is a very talented vocalist and can do that and can sing pretty much in time and in tune. So it was good. All right, last but not least, we got this, and I pulled this straight from the demo that we had. And if you hear that wow sound during the verse, you'll hear it here.
Lately I've been crying.
So that's actually Zach when he was making it. I couldn't tell you everything on it. So I'll take everything off first. So we have nothing on it here. I just added that vintage Valhalla vintage verb on it. And I'm pretty sure this was that's the verse reverb. So yeah. I guess I bounced it as an audio file, so it's going to sound the exact same. So that does nothing. Anyways. We have an auto filter on it. And so this could have been a preset. I'm not sure how we got it. Again, I pulled it straight from the demo, lined it up, synced it up with everything. I guess it's going to a bass amp. So really cool stuff here. I'll turn the reverb off. Back on. It kind of adds a presence there. Let me go through some of the buses I have here. So for this verse reverb, let's see, verse reverb. So I used the Valhalla vintage verb, and I just used a like plate reverb on his vocals. Nothing too heavy. And then chorus reverb and delay, I really put it on heavy. So this is that reverse reverb. And then the keys reverb, I use Valhalla vintage verb, concert hall, kind of a longer one. And I thought that was a good call. But I think that just about calls it. We'll listen to the second chorus here one last time. Again, this song is on Spotify, Apple Music, wherever you stream your music. And so I appreciate this. And have a good day, guys. I'll play this to outro the video.
For a sigh.